For more on this, we also have with us our Israel correspondent Jody Cohen. Jody, thank you so much for joining us. My first question to you is, can you tell us more about some of the reactions to this case? What line of defense is Israel expected to take here?
Right, so if you look at the definition of international law, it says that genocide means the deliberate killing of a large group of people with the aim of destroying that group. Now, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, which is a 57-member bloc, they voiced their support for this case against Israel, claiming that it has committed genocide against the Gazans. Now, Israel's allies are suggesting that the claims of genocide are without any basis in fact, and US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that it's particularly galling as Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis and Iran openly call for the annihilation of Israel and Jews around the world. Now, he said that Israel has a right to prevent a repeat of the 7th of October massacre, which Hamas has said it wants to commit again and again. British Foreign Secretary Cameron agrees with him and said he doesn't agree with the South African case and suggested that it's wrong to, in his words, bandy around words like genocide. Now, Israel's President Herzog has called this case atrocious. He says that Israel targets Hamas, which is a recognized terror group in several countries around the world, and does its utmost to protect civilian lives. For example, sending out millions of text messages, phone calls and leaflets over Gaza and producing an active map to help people navigate where the fighting is so they can stay away. On the other hand, Israel says that Hamas does its utmost to increase civilian casualties, citing rockets aimed at Israeli civilians, the taking of now roughly 130 hostages, and also the fact they say that Hamas is actually holding 2 million Gazans hostage, and they say that's because Hamas embeds itself in civilian infrastructure such as hospitals and schools, uses civilians as human shields and steals aid, including fuel, to power their rockets.
Right, absolutely, Jody. Now, also wanted to understand and ask this to Calvin as well. What do you think will be the impact of this case, which of course could take years?
Yes, so this ruling could take years, but it could be that the ICJ issues a provisional order which could potentially demand a ceasefire, which of course would be problematic for Israel because that would leave Hamas in power and able to carry out more attacks against Israel. The ruling is also not likely to be enforceable, and it's not thought likely that they will rule on that basis. It is thought that there could be possible injunctions, such as telling Israel to increase aid to Gazans, or setting up an investigative panel, or allowing Palestinians to return to their home in northern Gaza where the fighting is less intense. Or it could be that they say that Israel must take more action against any inflammatory ministerial comments. Israel would, of course, say that any past comments that will be cited by South Africa don't reflect the full context, are aimed at Hamas and not civilians, and are not reflected in policy or the conduct of the Israel Defense Forces. Now, Israel has published a website which it says is to document Hamas crimes against humanity. Many lawyers are saying actually that it's Hamas that is seeking genocide of Israel. And Israel's spokesperson Eylon Levy has said that South Africa has made itself criminally complicit with Hamas. And it will be interesting to see if Israel takes these lines of argument further.